Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Wrestling Talk in the Shop, and today is December 10th, and it's going to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time. You know, I like professional wrestling, and I get, for my entire life. And when these people doing it, I thought, well, I'm going to do something that I want to do. I mean, I hope you guys watch it. If you don't, I'm still going to do it because it's what I want to do. I'm going to talk about wrestling, this week in wrestling. I've watched all the wrestling from this week. Well, pretty much. I didn't watch that TNA pay-per-view just because I had the NXT pay-per-view to watch last night, and then I had Collision to watch, and I've got a wife and 3 kids, but I did the best I could. I watched almost all the wrestling of the week, and we're going to talk about it. I've got some highlights and some wrestling news, I guess you might say, of the week, and then at the end I've got some this week in wrestling history that I'm going to read off and talk about it, and whatnot. So, I mean, if you want to go along the journey, enjoy the video. If you're ever in Northeast Texas, stop by our furniture store and say hi or buy something, support us, and let us continue this journey and collecting wrestling memorabilia. That's what does it for us, is that furniture store. It's a small little furniture operation, but it's ours. And we like all the support we can get, and thanks for watching the videos. But anyway, we'll get right into it. Monday Night Raw, December 4th, 2023. Drew McIntyre, it opened with Drew McIntyre, a long segment from Drew McIntyre, and then the opening match was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, and Drew McIntyre won. And for some reason, I don't know why, but Drew McIntyre beat him up backstage. He already beat him up in the ring, then he went out and backstage and beat him up. And Nia Jax versus Shayna Baszler. And Shayna Baszler has greatly fallen since she got that win over Ronda Rousey, because Nia Jax won. And I guess that win over Ronda Rousey really didn't mean much, And I don't know what they're doing with Shayna Baszler. I mean, she come out looking like a monster earlier this year, but she's greatly fell, I guess however you might word it, her star is fallen, but Nia Jax has returned, and I'm afraid that Nia Jax may be the one to take the title off Rhea Ripley. I don't know, we'll see. But there's really not anyone on that Raw women's roster that, says that. But then Becky, well, I guess you might say Becky Lynch, but does Becky Lynch really need the title at this point in her career? I mean, she's not the Becky Lynch that Nia Jax knocked out. I mean, she's not that, But then we got SmackDown. 2 out of 3 falls. DIY versus Imperium, great match as far as the TV match goes, and of course DIY win. And let's see here. They're building up between Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther. I mean, they're going to be that one that's, they're building up confrontation between them, and then we got a backstage segment with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Then don't vape. Yeah, don't vape. They're telling you not to vape on WWE. I don't know if they're getting paid for that or not. I don't know. Then Cody come out talking. He's not wearing a robe here. I mean, he's not wearing a robe. He's not wearing a suit, I guess you might say. So he's coming out like he's ready to fight. He talks about how he's scared of the mist, and whatnot, and being scared of the mist. And then Shinsuke Nakamura pops on there on the big screen, and they talk about how their stories parallel. Anyway, we're going to get a match this coming Monday between Cody and Shinsuke, and this is just something for Cody to do in the meantime until he goes to Royal Rumble. And I don't know what will happen there. So next week we get and Cody should have wore a suit because there was no Shinsuke, no Nakamura. And then let's see here, what is it? Hold up here. Oh, then we got women's tag team match, Katina versus Kaden Carter, Katina Chance and Kaden Carter versus Natalya and Tegan Knox. I don't know what I did write this down. I thought this was pretty good. Natalya is giving out glasses like Bret Hart did, back when he was And anyway, she gave a little boy the glasses, but she didn't get too close. She didn't want that hand rub, like back.
She didn't want to get groped this time.
Yeah. But anyway, and they lost. Katina Chance and Caden Carter won. And we got a Cody walking backstage. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I didn't write anything back beside it. Then we got the fifth match on the card is the Creed brothers versus JD and Dominic Mysterio. And R-Truth comes out. He's with a Bills title belt to join Judgment Day. And then Julius Creed, pure athlete. I wrote that down, so he was good. He reminds me of a young Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. And Brodus Creed got the pin. Tom Filler highlights of Randy Orton joining SmackDown with LA Knight. That's what they do. I guess Raw is now the B show. For years, Raw was the A show, and we would get, but now it's definitely the B show. Best match on the card, Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso. Jey Uso dedicated this match to Umaga. It was 14 years to the day since his death. And he was only 36 years old when we lost Umaga. He was should have been a world champion if he'd have lived. He had personal demons, but he would have been a world champion. Should have. He was in one of the biggest WrestleMania matches there ever was, representing Vince McMahon in the hair versus hair match when he lost to Bobby Lashley, and that's when Donald Trump was in Bobby Lashley's corner and Vince McMahon was in Umaga's corner. He, at least we can say that about that. And but anyway, Seth Rollins, of course, won that match, and Jey Uso is going to be a world champion. I guess he's when CM Punk come back, I don't know who's going to be the world champion. I thought we were going to get, there's so many people. Damian Priest, of course, Cody. I know he's going after Roman's belt, so I don't know what's going on there. But, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, I thought they were setting him up at some point next year. Gunther, so I don't know what's going to happen with that world title picture now with CM Punk back, He says he's back for a WrestleMania main event, but there was no CM Punk on this show. Moving right along, we got honestly, guys, this is the first ever episode of NXT that I watched. So I thought NXT was good. It's not AEW, but it's not, Dynamite is. This is I guess you might say WWE's. Let's see, C show. I guess So it was good. Roxanne Perez, first match. Roxanne Perez. Thea Hale and Fallon Henley. Let's see. Read that off, Lindsay. You're a little louder.
Which one?
I can't read you riding.
Sorry about that. Let's see. There was a fatal 4-way. Iron Survivor. Winner faces the champion Layla. The winner was Fallon Henley. She looks really strong in that match.
She's gonna come over and join me.
I really didn't. I guess. Y'all pardon me. I did not do my hair or anything.
Yeah, we're this is a Sunday evening.
This is as we are. Okay?
Yeah, as we are. You're getting us as we are.
The real deal. So, yeah, but she looked really strong in this match. I kind of like her. I really didn't even. I seen her. I don't know. I guess a couple weeks ago. Really, I didn't know her because we didn't really watch NXT that much.
We hadn't really watched NXT that much.
But she looks pretty good. I figured they'll be bringing her up for too long. So.
What was the second match on the card there?
Yeah, and then second match was Wesley came out on crutches and said that he was hurt and he was going to have
bad deal about Wesley.
A long recovery, 8 to 10 months, so he's going to be out for a while.
Good thing for Dragon Lee. He's the new NXT North American champion. He beat Dominic Mysterio last night, but bad for Wesley. He's going to be back, a year, 2 years.
That sets him back, It's hard on people when that kind of happens. And then, Dom come out. And Wes tells him he's still competing.
Basically building to last night.
Yeah. And then they put Rey Mysterio on the screen, and he's going to be in the corner with Dragon Lee. And then Dragon Lee comes out, Dom leaves, that whole the whole shebang, how that goes. But then they were advertising like the men's breakout tournament starting the next week.
Yeah.
So, I figured they're trying to get in the tournament game.
Yeah, everybody loves tournaments in professional wrestling. I mean, we're getting them all. We're getting them on SmackDown. We're getting the Continental Classic on Wednesday and Saturday, and now we're getting the NXT breakout. I mean, all we need is one for Monday Night Raw.
I'm sure they'll be up next.
You know, King of the Ring tournament or something. You know, but anyway, that's not really a lot went on. You want to go? You got what was the main event there?
Let's see. There was a 6-person mixed tag team with Alpha Academy. And NXT Anonymous came out.
That wasn't the main event.
No. And then, let's see. Mr. Chase University, they had like a skit with that.
They're broke. He spent all their money.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Anyways, and they had an Iron Survivor qualifying match.
Tyler Bates won it.
Yeah.
Tyler Bates. I know who Tyler Bates is. This from... And
so...
The crown jewel, in my opinion, from NXT, in which I don't know why he's not on Raw or SmackDown. He needs to be, and that's Braun Breaker. I mean, I'll definitely NXT can have Baron Corbin and send Braun Breaker up to send him up to Raw. You know, Put him in a feud with Seth Rollins over that World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, he looks like a WWE superstar. He needs to be, but you know.
And then they kind of went into the thing with the Baron Corbin and how do you say that? Dragunov?
Yeah, Dragunov. And of course, I mean, we'll just talk about that. I thought they were going to put the title on Baron Corbin. You know, I was wrong, but you know, what's that say about Baron Corbin where he can't win? He never won a world title. And I don't know, did he have a title? Did he win a tag team champion? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I know he's went broke. He's not broke. Now he's riding.
Happy.
Now he's riding a Harley Davidson like the Undertaker, you know.
He once worked at Applebee's.
Yeah, he once worked at Applebee's, and he lost everything, you know. So
he's had a rough road.
I mean, he's, you know, I guess he's still employed for the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. So I mean, he's got that, you know.
So you know, hey,
you know, but
we can't all be on top.
But he didn't win that title, so I don't know what that says about that. And to me, I mean, I'm not trying to sound biased here, but to me, the best wrestling show of the week was probably Dynamite. I mean, consistently, I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, Dynamite, AEW puts on a good wrestling show. They don't quite have the stories that WWE has, but they have that. I'm going to let you read that because that's your handwriting.
I don't know why you can't read it. It's a beautiful handwriting. All right. Opening with Jon Moxley versus Ruse. Moxley didn't even bleed this match.
Yeah, he didn't bleed.
We were very proud of him.
I mean, give him a round of applause. I don't know when the last time he's had a match that he did not bleed.
I don't know. But, I was impressed. Impressed. But let's see. Ruse. Oh yeah, Ruse hit Moxley with somebody's probably $7 beer. I'm sure they were not happy about that.
Oh, they were happy to give it to Rush.
Yeah,
you know. Rush. Is his name Rush or Roosh or how you say it?
I can't say it.
Ruse. Yeah, we're gonna say Rush. Roosh. It's Rush, ain't it?
I think it's Ruse.
We don't know. We might be watching that. We're from Texas, folks.
We can, everything's got an accent around here. Ruse. But, anyways, but
no shocker here. Moxley won.
Yeah, Moxley won that one. So now he's got 9 points on there. And then Renee, they break off to the Renee interviewing Broderick Strong in the Kingdom. And then Broderick got up like he'd been healed and walked. And, and he accepted the loss to Swerve and threatened him.
That's not.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that's Hangman. Sorry, skipping ahead. Anyway, he's ditching the wheelchair, so he's been healed.
He's dipping the wheelchair. Yeah,
he's been healed.
And he's Lindsay. That's how he does it. Adam.
If you talk to me like that, I would divorce you. I would ditch the wheelchair.
I need some toilet paper. That's about the only time I'm hollering like that.
Actually, he does do that. Anyway, so then. Hangman's back, and he accepted the loss to Swerve. Apparently, I can't read my handwriting either. And then threatened him. And then MJF came out, and he got in the middle of it, and they're trading him and
Hangman Adam Page cannot hang with MJF. I mean, MJF is the superstar of AEW. I mean,
Yeah. And even like verbally, he doesn't really.
Oh no, verbally he just got Hangman Page got an ass whooping Wednesday. That's what happened,
So and that's basically what they did. Verbally sparred there.
Yeah.
And MJF accused him of being the devil. So, he's trying to push that off. Some people think it's him.
I never really thought it was Hangman Adam Page until Wednesday, but
yeah,
I
don't think it is.
Right.
But you never know. Anyways, and then Samoa Joe came out, intervened, and he was like, "Hey, we got stuff to do." So then the next match comes on: Mark Briscoe versus Swerve Strickland, and Jonathan thinks he has the best entrance.
Yeah, not him. As long as he has Prince Nana, he's definitely the best entrance in professional wrestling. But, I like Mark Briscoe. Bad deal what happened to his brother, but there was no doubt who was going to win this match.
Yeah. But Swerve, I was impressed by this. I wrote it down. Swerve suplexed Briscoe off the top of the barricade, and he's a pretty big boy. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, and Swerve won with a Death Valley drop, so that put him at 9 points. So he's tied with Jon Moxley. And Briscoe was eliminated from winning because he has not won.
He's not. Yeah.
He's out. So, and then it goes in with Renee back on the screen with Rhea May and Toni Storm, because she's Toni Storm's fangirl. So, we'll see how that turns out. She'll probably turn on her.
She will. She's going to turn on Toni Storm.
But Samoa Joe comes out, and then the lights go out. They love that.
Yeah, AEW loves to turn the lights out.
They do it all the time. And then the Devil's Men came out, 4 of them. Surround the ring.
Yeah.
Lights go out again, and then the Devil comes on the screen, showing that he knocked out MJF.
Did he actually come on the screen? I guess I missed.
Yeah, the Devil came on the screen.
I never.
And then it panned to MJF laid sprawled out on the ground with a beer bottle broken by his head.
Yeah.
So.
It was probably real glass too. Don't get mad, CM Punk.
Yeah. Anyway, and then it goes to Jon Moxley backstage talking. Swerve comes up and says, "See you in Texas." So
woohoo!
We're excited about that.
Yeah, well, that's where we're going.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
All three events next week: Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, actually this week, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll be this week. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're excited. We don't have nosebleeds, but where it's at, you can't.
Yeah, it's a so small arena. There's not a bad seat in there.
Yeah, it's super good spot.
We're not ringside or nothing. Don't look for us.
Yeah, if you look like at the top.
You just have to take our word that we're gonna be there.
I should get him a sign to walk by with, and we can just walk down. Be like Wrestling Talk in the Shop. Yeah. So. Not that,
you got 10
million followers.
Yeah, we got 10 people watching
if you do, you might see us. No. I tried to tell him he should dress up as Santa, but anyways, he don't want to do that. Anyway, Timeless Toni Storm come out. I really love her vignettes that, she comes out with.
Yeah.
She really does that well. But Toni won. And then Riho come out.
She's off the store shelves and they're back in AEW. Yeah,
she's still keeping pegs warm. I still see her all the time. Bless her heart.
They should have made her
to be the first woman to win the championship. She does not sell well on the store shelves.
Yeah,
so. Anyway, she's a tiny little thing.
She's off the store shelves.
Yeah. Anyways, then they had a video package for Edge versus Christian. That's gonna be good.
That's already happened.
I know, but I don't think they're done with it.
No, they're not done with it. So, but that's the first.
Just the first.
What's going to end up happening is Edge is going to join Christian, and then they're going to be like these dark characters, and probably break off from
Dark Brothers.
Well, they're gonna. Edge and Christian are gonna reunite.
Yeah.
Either Edge is probably gonna turn heel. He's a better heel than he is a better face.
He's always been a good heel. Anyways, and then Jay Lethal versus Jay White. They locked up. Jay White was the winner of that one, of course, and Jay Lethal eliminated because he had 0 points now. So, anyway, Jay White is up at 6 points, so I guess he lost one, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then they advertised the Von Erichs coming to Dallas, so we're all excited about that too.
Gotta promote that movie.
Yeah, gotta push the movie. And then Adam Copeland versus Christian. Adam really dominated the match. Christian low blowed the ref and hit him in the nuts and grabbed the title belt.
Low blow. We don't say nuts.
Oh, sorry.
Forgive us, children.
Pardon me.
Low blow.
And they both went for the spear. Nick Wayne's mom comes to the ring.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Anybody that's watched any professional wrestling knew she was going to, the man chair-toed her head, her son, in his head, her child.
Yep. So she's torn, and then
she's not torn. She's just.
That's what you put.
Yeah.
And hits Adam Copeland, Edge with the belt. Christian pinned Adam Copeland for the win.
So. And then
I really like his
that's Dynamite, and
but it was really entertaining.
like I said, I mean, to me, it's the most entertaining wrestling show, especially this week. Usually, I like SmackDown a lot, but it's like they kind of hemmed it in with that, tribute to the troops. I mean, that's a nice thing that they do for the troops. I'm not saying that, but it just, we didn't get no storyline progressive or progression.
It was pretty much all revolved around that, which is fine.
Anyway, then we got Impact Wrestling. I haven't watched an episode of TNA Wrestling probably since
it's been a minute.
2009, 2010. But they were from Mexico. It was an interpromotional show with AAA, and let's see if I could even read.
Chris Sabin, Trinity.
Yeah, Chris Sabin. Trinity looks good. I mean, she'll be back in WWE eventually. I mean, she's just, showing out, But anyway, you want to
running up AEW.
Nah, she's going back with her.
Her man.
Yeah, her man. And they won that match. And Chris Sabin worked double duty on this show. I mean, and I can't pronounce the guys that they. I don't even know.
That's Mystico Jr. But
no, I'm talking about. I'm still trying to figure out. But I guess I didn't.
Trinity came out wearing a lucha mask.
I guess I didn't write down who they wrestled. If I did, anyway.
I don't know who they wrestled.
Eddie Edwards versus. That's not even the host show. Excuse me. We're gonna filter through these notes here and see if
Mystico Jr. and Latigo, and then Mystico Jr. won that one. That was a pretty good match.
I guess I missed my.
A lot of high flying, all of the luchadors on that one. But let's see. These are mine, so I don't know what you did.
Well, I know, but I didn't watch. That's only half the show.
Something happened. I think I had to leave.
I don't know. That's only half the show. I got the rest of my notes, but honestly, folks have lost them. Tommy Dreamer, he won his tag team match. I can remember that. I have to take notes because it's
a lot of matches.
It's a lot of wrestling. I mean, and I'm watching it to try to review it for you guys. And Tommy Dreamer is looking old. And I tell you who's looking old, and that's Brian Myers. I mean, I didn't really think he was that old. Maybe he just needs to, maybe he's focused more on getting figures out, and maybe not his wrestling. Because his partner, what's his partner's name? The other Zack Ryder. What's his name? His real name? Hell, I wasn't thinking about it. I could remember it. But anyway, hell, what is his? Matt Cardona. Yeah, Matt Cardona looks like a superstar, but Brian Myers looks like he's, like me. Like he's taking it easy a little bit.
Sometimes Tom isn't good there, Betty.
But anyway, and he's that was. I'm trying to think. The main event. The main event on that, Moose and his partner won it. I guess that was the main event. We lost our notes. Can't seem to find them. But Moose and his partner won. Moose is wearing a T-shirt, but I don't know why. I mean, he looks like a wrestler. I don't know why he's wearing a T-shirt. Maybe he was just, that was a small crowd in Mexico. But, small crowds, I like going to small where there's not a lot of people there because that's the best kind of wrestling. I mean, you
can see really good.
Yeah, you can see really good. I mean, I would love to go to Mexico and watch some of that Lucha Libre, but I'm just too scared of Mexico. But, I would love to go to that Arena Mexico. I mean, they had get used to it, folks, because they've always done it in Mexico, and it's coming to WWE. They had a really obnoxious advertisement on the mat, and their TV screen was advertising some kind of oil in Mexico. I don't know, but it was really distracting me from watching the event. So and that's coming to WWE. TKO they've already said it. They're going to put advertisements everywhere. When you get your head on that turnbuckle there, it's going to say Disney, or it's going to say Frito-Lay, or Dr. Pepper, or Coca-Cola, Walmart. They're going to be Walmart turnbuckles, Yeah. But anyway, sorry we didn't have the whole review of Impact. I lost my notes somewhere, but
it's in here somewhere. We come across it a little
Impact, they're building their main build is I remember the main event was not with Moose. It had Vikingo in it. And he is a great wrestler. And he was teaming with Motor City Machine Guns. And of course they won. And the AAA Mega Champion Vikingo, I probably butchered his name, but he's a great wrestler. I seen him in Houston when I went to Dynamite. He was there. I see him on AEW. And I mean, he's really a great wrestler, and he's gonna, I mean, very exciting, very entertaining to watch. But I see him a lot I see him a lot on Dynamite and stuff, and Rampage and whatnot, and Collision. But anyway, and we'll go right into SmackDown here.
Tribute to the troops, Providence, Rhode Island. They came out and sang "God Bless America." They heard I guess that's probably the only time they ever do that.
That was what was that? War and Treaty.
War and Treaty.
They do it at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I guess they do it at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. I mean, or they sing "America the Beautiful."
Yeah,
whatever.
they sing something. But anyways, that was entertaining. Yeah, that was good.
JBL's back on commentary. I guess he is he's the brainchild of that tribute to the troops, because Michael Cole said this is all your idea, so maybe he's the one that originally started it. I don't know.
With it.
But anyway,
they advertised the main event: LA Knight, RKO versus Solo Sikoa.
RKO, you said it like it's RVD. It's Randy Orton.
I like Randy Orton. Yeah. RKO, yeah.
The first match was Santo Escobar versus Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee lost here, so I automatically knew he was going to go over Saturday night. I mean, in which they're building Santo Escobar up to whenever Rey Mysterio gets healed, he's gonna go into a feud with Rey Mysterio, and and of course Dominic Mysterio come out.
They trot him out on every show.
I mean, why wouldn't
he's
you?
He's a
superstar.
He gets the heat wherever he goes.
Trot him out with mommy. You can't go wrong on the TV.
Yeah. So.
And then we got here that they're jumping into the tournament game. Like we've already mentioned
the tournament.
We already mentioned that everybody loves a good wrestling tournament. And then backstage, you see Randy Orton giving Nick, what's his name? Nick, how'd you say? Nick Adias, the national Adonis or whatever. Mickey James' husband, the national treasure, from NWA. Probably butchered his name, but he gives Randy Orton gives him a $100,000 check. And he says the fine was only for $50, and he says, well, the other $50's for next time I RKO your ass. And then we went out, and Cody Rhodes is in a suit, so you're not getting any wrestling, and no young fans getting a weight belt. So.
Yeah. Did the tribute to the troops, and they trotted out the drill team. There's only 3 people. I was like, where's the rest of the people at? I really figured they would have more than 3 people, but anyways. And then they had Brad Nessler on commentary from CBS Sports.
Yeah, I'm sure Fox. I'm sure Fox just loves them, plugging that Army-Navy game that's on CBS Sports, and they got the CBS commentator, But hell, WWE's not worried about keeping Fox happy anymore. They're leaving.
Oh, sorry.
We got a phone call here, folks. Who is it?
Sorry about that.
Technical difficulties. Like I said, we're real. We're nothing. I mean, you're going to get all of, the real 110% of us. And text him and tell him don't be calling you in your damn YouTube videos.
Doing a podcast.
But anyway, WWE is no longer in. They're not trying to keep Fox happy, so therefore they trotted out Brad Nessler from CBS, and then they're promoting that Army Navy game, in which I think Army won. Go Army! I didn't watch it. I am a football fan, but I'm more of a pro wrestling fan. Pro wrestling consumes most of my life. Then we got Bobby Lashley, the veteran, the Army veteran, versus Karrion Kross, and of course you know who's winning that match. We're on Tribute to the Troops show, and it's
going to be the veteran.
A lot of people. I want to say this. A lot of people say, "Well, AEW is not pushing guys. They're not doing that." I mean, well, here, what about Karrion Kross in SmackDown? Where's he going to land at?
He's been buried.
Yeah.
Ever since.
I wouldn't say buried, but he's
not looking strong.
I mean, now these guys with Gunther, and Gunther, he's not going to beat him for the Intercontinental title. They built that thing up bigger than the world title, the Intercontinental title. And then you got Logan Paul. He's the U.S. champion. He's running off to make YouTube videos or box or open up Pokemon cards or whatever it is he does. I mean, there's no champions on SmackDown. I mean, and, like I said, to me, Gunther is above Seth Rollins. I mean, as far as that Intercontinental title has more stock than it has in a long time.
It does. Yeah, he looks very strong.
So, I mean, that's just my little, and then CM Punk comes out for a promo. And, of course, he acknowledges his backstage fight, in AEW. And you know, and that whatnot. Now he's going to finish his story. He's going to finish his story. And CM Punk's making the rounds. He was on
every show.
Yeah, he wasn't on Raw. He's going to be on Raw this Monday, but he worked Friday at SmackDown. Then he opened the show NXT, the pay-per-view last night with Shawn Michaels, and we all know he's not going there, but you know, it's nice to go out there and get CM Punk. You might as well get him all on the show. I'm sure they're paying him a lot of money.
I bet.
So I mean, now what's that mean for? What do you think that means for Cody Rhodes now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably going to hurt Cody Rhodes' title picture. I think it's going to push him down the card some. I don't know. I mean, Cody Rhodes is a huge star.
You know, before Cody was worried about The Rock coming back and, you know, main eventing with Roman Reigns.
He still might.
No, The Rock's not coming back. The Hollywood strike's over.
Yeah, he's back to work.
Yeah, so I mean, but now we have to, I don't know. I mean, I say go with Cody, you know. Cody should have won it last year.
They might go with Cody and then keep building with.
I mean, let's go with Cody.
Take it off of Cody.
You know, put the title on Cody. Let him beat Roman, and then we have a year feud with Cody and CM Punk. I mean, you know,
that's what they're gonna do.
Those two could really go back and forth. I mean, that would cut some good promos. You know.
Yeah. They would. But surely they're not going to put the title on CM Punk right away.
Oh, I mean, he's CM Punk. I mean, you know, he's a superstar. I mean, you see those. I mean, he's got the most social media interactions ever in the WWE. I don't think he's going to main event this WrestleMania. At least not two. But you know, they surprised me. I didn't think he was coming back to WWE. So I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe, you know, they might do it with Seth Rollins. You know.
Yeah. You know. But anyway, he's made his intentions clear. I'm coming back to main event WrestleMania. So what do you guys consider not one of WrestleMania a main event? Because I really don't. I mean, to me, the main event of WrestleMania is the last match on the show. It's night two, Sunday night. You know, that's what I consider a main event. Now, I don't know what CM Punk's considering a main event, you know.
Yeah. Although he did, if you notice, whenever he was walking out and this guy at ringside was holding the WWE Championship, the one that...
That's the World Heavyweight
Championship. Or the World Heavyweight Championship. And he was like, you know, pointing at it. So, you know, maybe that's just kind of a little teaser there. So, but anyways, Asuka versus Charlotte. You know, Asuka won. She's looking good. They've been really pushing Asuka a lot. You know,
Charlotte hurt herself there in a botch. You know, and that moonsault that Charlotte does. I mean, she always lands on her feet, and she didn't even touch Asuka. You know, and then they said announcers they did acknowledge it. You know, she just barely grazed her. You know.
Yeah.
But I hope Charlotte's okay. You know.
Right. Yeah. She just came back. But Roman Reigns returns next week.
Woo!
And then we have the main event. Randy Orton with LA Knights versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. And Randy Orton won with RKO to Jimmy. You know, I like Randy Orton, so
yeah,
he looks good.
So, I mean, you know, and I thought, going back to that world title picture, I thought, well, in 2024, LA Knight's going to be a world champion. I can't sit here and say 100% that I think LA Knight's going to be a world champion now because you've got Randy Orton's back, CM Punk, you know.
There's a lot of competition.
There's a lot of competition. Gunther, you know, I don't know, you know. I
don't think they're taking Gunther off of the title.
Oh, he's gonna lose that. He's gonna lose that Intercontinental title to Chad Gable at the Royal Rumble.
I think so.
I don't know if it'll be Chad Gable, but it should be Chad Gable.
If he does, I think he'll have it back.
I mean, he's world title bound. I think. I mean, he's a world.
He will, but I don't know if he is right now because they just got so many people.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, that hurts everybody, you know.
Yeah,
but,
there's a lot of competition. We still got a lot of shows, but
I mean there can only be
two main shows. NXT.
There's two world champions. I mean, you can count NXT as a world champion, but it's
it's the C show.
Yeah, it's the C show, you know. But hopefully LA Knight stays over and you know he gets what he deserves, you know. LA Knight's not a young man, so we need the LA Knight to
he needs to get with it.
He needs to get, you know, WWE Triple H, you need to get with it and put that world title on LA Knight.
Time's a ticket.
LA Knight. But anyway, here's Rampage. Solid wrestling show, Rampage. I mean, I know a lot of people hate on Rampage, but
it's a short show, though.
It's a short show. It's an easy watch, hour episode of wrestling there, and I mean they had a packed episode, it was stacked this past week.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy with Danhausen, I mean, and Hook, and I assume this is Danhausen's daughter that he comes out with. I don't know that
she's painted up like him.
She's painted up with him, and I think the announcers, I think they said that.
I think they
didn't
mentioned it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We just thought of maybe like a Make-A-Wish kid or something. You never know.
But anyway, and Hook and the little girl, they go backstage, and who's he?
And Angelico, I can't. And it's spelled Angelico, but that's not how they say it.
Oh, it's Angel. He's from Ring of Honor. He was a good wrestler. I thought he was going to beat Orange Cassidy.
Angelico. That's
Angelico. Yeah, Angelico. Yeah. You know, like I said,
we butchered it.
Pardon us. We can't talk, and apparently we can't read our own handwriting.
Yeah.
But Orange Cassidy won. I mean, Orange Cassidy,
he looks strong. He looks good. You know.
Oh, he's
very entertaining.
I don't think
at first we didn't like him.
At first I didn't like him either with the whole hands in the pocket thing, but I like him now. I don't think he's ever going to be a world champion. He might be, but stranger things have happened, but I don't see it. But then you got Abaddon. They're putting Abaddon on TV a lot.
They are.
They're building her up to a. She went over Trish. I don't know.
Adura. I don't even know.
I assume she's a local wrestler out of Canada. They were in Canada all week, or
they're building with Julia.
Yeah, so. Julia Hart. She's getting a build to face that TBS champion Julia Hart. You know, the lights went out, and she's gone. And then Don Callis comes out, and Hobbs and Tinsuke, or Takeshita versus Matt Sydal, and Christopher Daniels, and you know who's winning here. I mean, Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels ain't winning nothing anymore.
No.
And then probably the best match on the card was Daniel Garcia versus Bryan Danielson. And I really thought they were going to put Daniel Garcia over, but they didn't. Bryan Danielson won.
He was doing his little dance, cost him the match. They had to push it some way.
He's back to wearing wrestling trunks now, so maybe they're knocking him down so they can build him up. You know, that's all I'm hoping, because he hasn't won any match in this Continental Classic tournament yet. You know, and he's such a he's a young Daniel Bryan. He's gonna do good things, and but anyway, and then
I mean, they've really been pushing Bryan Danielson.
Oh well,
he's top talent.
He's the man. There's nobody.
He's the dragon. He's not the man. He's the dragon.
I mean, but he's the man. He's booking the show. Hell, he's finding people. You know, he's finding wrestlers. You know,
he's the boss.
He's not the boss. He might be the boss. You know,
Tony
Khan better sign him to some kind of role. You know, I don't think Daniel Bryan really, he was injured on Saturday in that match. Really, his eye looked horrible, bleeding really bad. He's already got a lot of trouble. You know, he had his orbital socket was already hurt. You know, so I don't know how much longer Bryan Danielson can do it. You know, so I don't know.
Is he in his 40s?
I don't know. Google it. Google his age real quick.
We will.
But anyway, Andrade, reports come out this week that he's going back to WWE. Of course he's going back to WWE, probably with his contract. He thanked Triple H when he was released. When he was granted his release, he said, I want to thank Triple H.
He's 42.
And so Andrade and his wife works there. I assume they're still married. I really don't know. So I assume he's going, Andrade's probably going back to WWE. And so is Malachi, or what do they call him? Malachi Black? Is it? Yeah, or Aleister Black. I know he was, he's probably headed back to WWE too. I think his wife or girlfriend, Selena Vega, she works. And of course, would you want to work with your wife or girlfriend if you're
traveling all the time?
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they travel like that. So of course, if you can work, together, and Triple H, these guys, Triple H booked these guys in WWE. So he booked them in NXT, and now he's booking his show. So they want to.
I'm sure they're.
I don't know that they're going to be world champions. You got CM Punk, you've got all those other guys. So you're not. I mean, there could only be one world champion in WWE, 2 world champions. So, I mean, not everybody's going to be a world champion.
You got to get in line.
And as long as Logan Paul is holding that U.S. title and he's off making boxing or whatever it is he's doing, You're not even going to be a U.S. champion.
I figure they're going to take that off.
Although he's going to probably drop it at the Royal Rumble, but we've got 6 weeks till the Royal Rumble. A U.S. title match on SmackDown every once in a while would be nice.
They don't want to turn it over too much. So,
But I'm not saying just a title match. You want title matches.
That's true.
You ain't got to turn it over. But anyway, we'll go right on to Collision here. Opening match: Claudio versus Eddie Kingston, and Eddie Kingston won, so he's got 3 points now. Eddie Kingston's got 3 points there, so that's always good to.
He needed to win.
Yeah, I mean,
he was looking kind of.
I don't know. Is he still? I'm confused in this whole thing. Is he still the New Japan World Strong Champion, or is he still the Ring of Honor Champion? I'm confused on that whole situation. I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
And then the best match on the show. I mean, they had a lot of good matches on the show. Kenny Omega versus Ethan Page. They were fighting the top wrestler from Canada. I don't know what these two guys are fighting. We all know Bret Hart's the best wrestler from Canada. I mean, why are they? Chris Jericho should be in there too. Yeah. But Kenny Omega won. I mean,
But Ethan Page did look really good.
Oh yeah, and he acknowledged him.
Yeah,
and then Big Bill come out and hit him with the title belt. Then Ethan Page ran up and was gonna make the save, but Big Bill retreated back. Then you got Wardlow versus Willie Mack, and I like Willie Mack finally standing up to this bully Wardlow, but of course he didn't make it.
Couldn't cut the mustard.
And Willow Nightingale, she finally beat Mercedes Martinez.
I don't know how they're going to handle that when they ever get Mercedes Moné in there. They got Mercedes Martinez, Mercedes Moné.
There's no doubt.
There's no guarantee, but she keeps being there.
She's been there once.
She's been there twice. She was there the other day.
Sasha Banks was on AEW the other day.
Something like that. Maybe
I don't think you're wrong.
Anyway, maybe not.
She's spreading false information here, folks. Where's our fact checks?
No fact check me. I'm
she may go back to Vince McMahon's gone now.
That's true. Anyways, one of them might have.
There's no guarantee that she's going to AEW. She probably still will be. I mean, but now that Triple H is running things,
yeah, she may change her mind and go back.
The tide has definitely turned. 2 years ago, everybody was AEW in love with AEW. Now everybody's in love with WWE. So I mean, it's just pro wrestling fans. We're a fickle crowd. What can I say? Then Willow Nightingale. I already sent you that. Penta and Commander versus Angelo Parker and Matt Menard, and I didn't realize those guys were from Canada, or at least so I was rooting for them. I wanted them to beat Penta and Commander, but they didn't win. They didn't, of course, Penta and Commander won. So.
They don't let people win when they're at home.
That's WWE. That's not AEW.
No, well, obviously.
I guess so. Yeah.
They don't let them win when they're at home either.
Anyway, and then
but the crowd was really rooting for him.
Yeah. And then Daniel Bryan versus Andrade.
Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan. Oh, not right. Excuse me.
It's hard to get past those names.
It's hard to get past those names. Bryan Danielson versus Andrade with C.J. Perry, not Lana. It's C.J. Perry.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Andrade won, and he tried to console Daniel Bryan. Then Claudio come out. His eye was hurt, and and that Blackpool Combat Club there, they don't want you around. They're sore losers, I guess you might say. But that was Collision and then I've already mentioned that pretty much. That was a great, good NXT pay-per-view. I really thought they were going to put the title on. Baron Corbin. They didn't. Braun Breaker looks great throwing out them spears, and I really enjoyed the women's cage match. I can't remember their names right off the bat, but the girl carrying the purse who kind of does the DMD thing, but she looks like a WWE superstar. She needs to be on the main roster. She's headed that way. That was a great cage match, but we made it through the Pro Wrestler of the Week. I mean, that was how many shows we might make here?
A lot.
And I mean, you gotta.
No, go ahead.
Oh, then we've got some wrestling news here. We already mentioned And then we also AJ Styles is scheduled to return this Friday, so we're gonna get AJ Styles and Roman Reigns back. I figured that's going to be the WWE title match going into the Royal Rumble. I mean, you watch the Royal Rumble for that Royal Rumble.
I'd like to see him do something with AJ Styles. I really like.
He's not going to win that title. He's older now.
I know, but I would like to see him give him another push.
And then got some AEW news. A lot of negativity going around backstage. I don't know. Hopefully they can bounce back. I mean, they released that producer Kevin Sullivan or editor or whatever he was, and I guess he was well liked. I don't know if they released him or what. According to Dave Meltzer, they're grossing a lot of money, but not sure if they're profitable yet. I just hope AEW can manage it. You know, it's very similar to the late 80s, early 90s, where you were getting good wrestling, but WCW was putting on a good wrestling show, but they weren't selling any tickets. I mean, you could go back and watch a lot of those shows, and there wasn't anybody there. And it hadn't got to the point where they're giving tickets away, at least not to my knowledge, anyway.
We hadn't gotten any.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten any free. But anyway, so I'm hoping that they can just, make it through this wave. And, guys, we need to support that because that's good for the wrestlers, too. I mean, that gives, you go back to 2014, 2015, even 2019, and WWE wasn't an easy watch every week, and it wasn't. And then Tony Khan come out and said Ric Flair is basically, or Woo Energy is basically paying for Ric Flair. That's a similar deal into which Eric Bischoff said that's they were basically getting Macho Man for free back in WCW because of that Slim Jim sponsorship. So that's good. Ric Flair is good for AEW. He's good for merchandise. He's good for video games. He's good for I don't know if you can. He's good for that. Good for action figures. I know I would buy Ric Flair action figures. Mm-hmm. I bought Sting. I bought every other one. So, but Ric Flair needs to stay out of the ring. We do not need to see Ric Flair wrestling anymore. I watched that Ric Flair last match pay-per-view, and it was not a good one. The pay-per-view was great, except for the Ric Flair last match.
Yeah.
And WWE is scaling back house shows on the small towns and whatnot. And Will Ospreay is going to be at the, the return of TNA Wrestling. He's going to be at their show. And Okada is going to be there, too. And I don't know that Okada is going to leave New Japan. If he does, he needs to. I don't know how Okada would be in WWE. I mean, I would rather see him in AEW, but, anyway. But we'll see how that turns out.
They can't have everybody.
Yeah. But anyway, this concludes. Like I said, that's just highlights and stuff. If you made it this far, we appreciate you watching. We're going to go over some wrestling history here. December 4th, 1991. December 4th, 1991. Hulk Hogan was stripped of the WWF title by Jack Tunney after he won it back at Tuesday in Texas. He won it from The Undertaker. He lost it at Survivor Series, won it back in Tuesday in Texas. And then they, but anyway, Jack Tunney stripped him of that title. And it was later announced that the winner of the 1992 Royal Rumble would have that title, and then we all know that Ric Flair, that's some people's favorite Royal Rumble, and Ric Flair would go on to win it. And then 1993, Kevin Sullivan and Taz defeated Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer for the ECW Tag Team Champions after Douglas turned on Dreamer, and they cost their team the match. 2000, William Regal won the European Championship from Crash Holly. That's crazy.
It doesn't seem that long ago.
It's 23 years ago. Crash Holly, who's no longer with us, he was good. He was good in that hardcore division. In 2001, the Kiss My Ass Club was unofficially closed when McMahon was forced to kiss Rikishi's ass by The Rock on SmackDown. And I mean, that Kiss My Ass Club was really something for you.
2001 or 4?
2001.
Oh, golly.
I mean, that I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I didn't think, are they really going to,
They
people?
kiss their ass?
Yeah, they really. And I think the Kiss My Ass Club went on past 2001, but
yeah, I don't
I don't know. I mean, but anyway, 2006, less than a day removed from the terrible December to Remember pay-per-view, Paul Heyman left WWE because his vision of the brand different from Vince McMahon in the office. He wouldn't return for 5 years.
That's the story of WWE, isn't it? Vince's vision.
He returned as Brock Lesnar's advisor, and I assume that's when 2012. Is that when Brock Lesnar returned? Is that when he returned? No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably though.
I don't know. Maybe
that's been a long time ago too.
Yeah. I thought Brock Lesnar. Anyway, and then of course we said this earlier. Umaga passed away from heart failure 3 months after his WWE release at 36.
Young man.
And WWE taped tribute to the troops in Baghdad, Iraq. I only think they did that only once, I believe. And in the main event, John Cena defeated WWE champ John Cena retained his WWE champ over Chris Jericho. And let's see here. In 2013, the Hart family mansion in Calgary, Alberta, Canada was named a landmark. You know, that's one thing they should have done in Dallas. They should have saved that sportatorium and they should have turned it into like a wrestling. You know, that's what I always. You know, it would have paid for itself in just a short time. You know, they could have rebuilt it and. You know, at least in Canada, they got sense enough to save their history, you know.
They just knocked it down.
Yeah, they just knocked it down. In 2016, SmackDown presented TLC from the American Airlines Center, and the main event saw AJ Styles successfully defend the WWE Championship against Dean Ambrose in a TLC match. And also on that card, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton became the second ever WWE SmackDown champions. They beat Heath Slater and Rhino. I believe we were at that show.
I think we went to that.
Yeah, we went to that show. And
Jonathan's a big Heath Slater fan.
Yeah, I used to.
I don't know where you do that.
I had his shirt says, you know, I got kids. I got kids. I need this job. You know.
We gotta see if we can find it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can find it. But that was back in 2016. I guess they were doing Raw pay-per-views and SmackDown pay-per-views. We were getting 2 WWE pay-per-views a month.
Yeah.
24 a year or 23 a year, something like that. I'm glad they don't do that. And in 2018, WWE taped the tribute to the troops special at Fort Hood in Texas. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins defeated Bryan Danielson and Dean Ambrose were on the card. Then 2020, SmackDown opened with a 10-bell salute to Pat Patterson, the first Intercontinental Champion. I mean, you know, he lived a long time. When he left from WWE, when he left that, you know, he was gone though, and you know, but he was the first ever SmackDown champion and creator of the Royal Rumble, I believe. I think he created the Royal Rumble, you know. For a long time, he was Vince's right-hand man. Then we'll go on for Tuesday, December 5th, 1997. The ECW Tag Team Champions changed hands in Massachusetts when Doug Fortness and anyway, the full-blooded Italians,
Little Guido and Tracy Smothers.
Yeah. Anyway, 2004, Macho Man. Yeah, he wrestled his one and only, his first and only TNA match. He didn't look very good, and he come out like. I remember he come out like in the middle of the match. You know, he didn't out there long, and he teamed with Jeff Hardy and who did he?
AJ Styles.
Yeah, I know he teamed to defeat Scott Hall, Jeff
Double
Jarrett. Scott Hall, Jeff Jarrett, and Kevin Nash. And elsewhere on the card, Team Canada, Eric Young and Bobby Roode beat three live crew, Ron Killings and BG James. Ron Killings is R-Truth now. He was a former NWA World Champion. I bet a lot of folks didn't know that. And BG James is Road Dogg Jesse James. He was actually on commentary in SmackDown not too long ago. And in 2005, Eric Bischoff's reign as general manager come to an end. A Raw general manager come to an end after his came to an end after 3.5 years in the position. My God, I didn't realize he was general manager for that long. A mock trial by Vince McMahon ended with John Cena dumping Bischoff in the back of a garbage truck to mark his bid will from a full-time character in WWE. It's Farewell.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was the general manager for 3 years. I mean, if Adam Pearce makes it that long, he'll be really good. 2009, TNA Wrestling announced that Hulk Hogan would debut for the company on January 7th, 2010. The same night, Impact would move from Thursday night and go to head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, in which they were butchered. I mean, they weren't butchered like really, really butchered, but they just couldn't, you know. I remember that. I was excited for that. I thought, man, we're going to get a head-to-head, you know, but there's not enough. There wasn't enough money in TNA to compete with WWE at that point.
No. We did go see them, remember?
Oh yeah, we went. Yeah, I've seen TNA.
We went there and
then we went to the Impact Zone and watched it. It was really crowded.
Oh yeah.
In 2010, TNA's final resolution pay-per-view took place at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. One title change occurred on that night when Douglas Williams defeated AJ Styles to win the TNA television title. Also on the card, Generation Me, the Young Bucks took on the Motor City Machine Guns. I bet that was a good match. And 2013 at Impact Wrestling taping, Magnus Nick Aldis, he is now SmackDown general manager, defeated Nick Aldis.
We butchered.
Defeated AJ Styles in a unification match to become the undisputed TNA Heavyweight Championship. And that's a shame that he's not going to be able to wrestle in WWE. I don't know if he don't.
Maybe he don't want to.
Maybe he don't want to. But you're right. Maybe he don't want to.
He's not, young.
This would turn out to be AJ Styles' last match with the company after his 11-year run. And he went to Japan for a while, and I think he was negotiating to go back to TNA, but ended up in WWE. What year was this? 2013. Yeah, that's about right, because he debuted at that Royal Rumble we went to, didn't he? I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
2016, I believe. At that time, Chris Sabin won the TNA X Division Championship against Austin Aries. Chris Sabin is now the Impact World Champion. Mm-hmm. In 2018, the Dynamite Kid passed away. He was a strange dude. Great wrestler, and some of the stuff that I heard that he did to his wife was just horrible. But anyway, that's the exact note of his death was never commented on publicly. Anyway, December 6th. Read some of those, and I'll talk about them.
All right.
I gotta get a drink of water.
Chris Candido and Lance Storm win a 3-way over ECW tag team champions Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon, as well as Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney to win the titles.
I can't really say much about that because I'm not I never watched ECW. I watch more ECW now than I did then because it was on I didn't have cable a lot as a kid, and I did catch some of it when it was on TNN, but I remember my dad got a satellite at one point in time, and we had all these channels, and I caught a little bit of it. But anyway.
All right, 1998 WWF Capital Carnage, UK only pay-per-view, took place at the London Arena in London, England. The main event was a fatal 4-way match pitting Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind. Austin took the win with an assist from special enforcer, actor, and former footballer Vinnie Jones. 2002, short-lived World Wrestling All-Stars promotion held an event titled The Retribution from the Scottish Exhibition and Conference Centre in Glasgow, Scotland. The main event saw Lex Luger win the vacant WWE Heavyweight Championship in a match with Sting. And the event aired as pay-per-view in the United States.
I read about that online on the internet at that time, but I never was able to watch those shows, But that was right after WCW closed, and those guys, I guess they could work outside and still get paid. And in 2004, Lita defeated Trish Stratus for the first time for the WWF Women's Championship. It was the last time that a women's match took place in the main event spot on Raw until 2016. Women's wrestling has come a long way since then. I mean, that was a big deal for them, and that was pretty much Trish's swan song. I think she pretty much went away after that as a full-time performer, which she's come back a little here and there, but, and Lita didn't last long after that, Well, I talked about that match on that review of that Women's Championship belt, And then 2008, Dennis Rodman is declared the Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling Series winner. He beat Todd Bridges in the final. Todd Bridges was in that final? Anyway, I remember that. You know, I watched it because Hulk Hogan was on it. It was on like CMT or something like that, or
MTV.
maybe True TV. I don't think it was MTV.
But MTV. Okay.
But anyway, it was kind of dumb, and I knew Dennis Rodman was going to win it the whole time because, you know, he had a wrestling background.
He's real big in wrestling.
Yeah. And in 2010, Santino Marella and Kozlov won the WWE Tag Team Championship on Raw in Louisville, Kentucky. This was after Jim Cornette slapped Santino. But I bet they won the titles there in Louisville because that's Jim Cornette's hometown. I bet that was kind of a dig at Jim Cornette. But anyway, the win came in a fatal four-way. The match also featured the Usos and Heath Slater. And in 2014, UFC has announced they have signed former WWE superstars CM Punk to a 2-fight contract in which he lost both fights. And we should have knew that was that he was coming back to WWE because that TKO is now involved. And I don't know how much involvement they have in that, but we should have knew that.
Yeah. We should have been so surprised.
Yeah. In 2020, NXT War Games took place at the Capitol Wrestling Center in the show's namesake match. Team Candice defeated Team Shotzi, and the Undisputed Era picked up a victory over Pat McAfee's team. That was which included Danny Burch, Ole Loken, and Pete Dunne. And I thought that was a good show, and I went back and watched that since then. In the Undisputed Era, I mean, you know, I hope Adam Cole gets to come back, and I don't know if we'll still be in this storyline, you know, where things will be at then, but I'm ready for Adam Cole to come back. Maybe he can heal up. It's going to be a while, though. Anyway, December 7th, 1989, Haystacks Calhoun died in his hometown of Collin County at the age of 55. Young man when he died, 55. I mean, you can also watch that video. We go to Haystack, we visit, pay our respects to his grave in Collin County.
It's a really small little
cemetery,
country cemetery.
And then in 1999, a taping of WCW Thunder in Madison, Wisconsin, Bret Hart defeated Goldberg to win the Bret Hart and Goldberg defeated Creative Control, Gerald and Patrick, to win the WCW Tag Team Championships. Who would have ever thought that they were tag team champions? I did not know that Bret Hart and Goldberg were WCW tag team champions.
Well, I thought they hated each other.
They did hate each other. Bret Hart blames Goldberg for because he got a concussion or something.
Yeah.
You know. And then 2008, TNA presented the Final Resolution pay-per-view from Orlando, Florida. The main event saw the Main Event Mafia, Sting, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, Booker T, defeat the Front Line, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Brother Devon, and Bully Ray. As Bully Ray, Brother Ray, whatever you want to call him.
Bubba Ray.
Yeah. As a result, Sting retained the World Heavyweight Championship earlier in the night. Eric Young beat Sheik Abdul to win the TNA X Division title. And then 2014, Alberto El Patron defeated El Texana Jr. to win the AAA Mega Championship at AAA's War of the Titans in Mexico. And I don't know where. I mean, I don't know. He just fell off.
Working anywhere?
I don't know. He fell off.
He got out of his legal trouble.
Yeah, he got out of his legal trouble and he fell off the face of the earth. You know, I don't know what
he needs to.
Yeah, maybe so. 2014, Ring of Honor's final battle took place in New York City. In the main event, Jay Briscoe retained the Ring of Honor World Championship in a fight without honor against Adam Cole. Jay Briscoe also retained the Ring of Honor tag title against Matt Sydal in Red Dragon. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly successfully defended the tag team titles against the Time Splitters. Alex Shelley and Kushida. I'm probably butchering that, you know. But anyway, then we go on to December 8th. Can you imagine doing these history segments during WrestleMania? You'd be out here you'd have to do a whole show just on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
just on WrestleMania alone, you know. a lot of history in the week of December 4th through the 10th. We're on December 8th now.
Yeah, that was a lot.
1994, WCW Saturday Night. That was WCW's main show until Monday Night Nitro come on. Booker T and Stevie Ray defeated Marcus Bagwell and the Patriots, Stars and Stripes, to win the WCW Tag Team Champions. The match aired on January 14th. My God. I mean, so it aired a month that, took place and then didn't air till over a month later.
I forgot about it by the time it aired.
Well, yeah. That's just the way they used to film wrestling, back then. And then 2005, ABC Television announced that Stacy Keibler will take part in a new series of Dancing with the Stars. She would eventually finish in third. I didn't know that, Never. I knew Chris Jericho was on Dancing with the Stars, but I never knew that.
Stacy, we never really watched it.
Nah, I never really watched it. The Miz has been on it. This and that.
There's been quite a few. It's been on like forever.
Yeah, it's kind of like Big Brother, ain't it?
Yeah.
The Survivor.
Season 29.
Survivor 89. That guy that won that first million, so spin it. He's ready to go back and survive again.
He's probably been back on there. I think they do that.
Oh, do they? In 2008, for the first time since 1997, WWE brought back the Slammy Awards.
The Slammies.
Well, I got a Slammy somewhere.
I don't know where it's at, but
14 Slammies were awarded. Superstar of the Year, Chris Jericho. Tag Team of the Year, John Morrison and The Miz. And Match of the Year was Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24.
That was a good match.
Oh, yeah, that was a good match. And December 9th, 1974, Jack Briscoe won the World Heavyweight title in a match in Japan over Giant Baba. He had dropped it the week before. 1995, the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, plays host to ECW's December to December.
That's about how ECW was.
The headline news was the Sandman won his third world title in a match in which he beat Mikey Whipwreck, as well as Steve Austin. Notably, his second was the second of the two ECW matches. He later joined WWE that month. And then let's see. We're running out of ball. 2008, Lisa Vachon, aka Victoria, in WWE announced her retirement from wrestling in 2000 WWE, and in 2009 she signed with TNA. She stayed until 2013.
She wasn't quite retired.
Yeah, she was ready to retire from WWE. All of them old WWE wrestlers were going to TNA and working that part-time schedule. Down there in Florida, they could enjoy that sun. Didn't have to travel all the time every night. In 2010, TNA Wrestling crowned their first ever Knockouts Tag Team Championships when they Angelina Love and Winter beat Madison Rayne and Tara in the final title tag tournament. Let's see. And that's pretty much it for December 9th. I know recent history anyway.
Yeah.
December 10th.